Welcome to the Southern State of Golf Podcast. Hi, I'm your host, John, and I'm excited for just another episode of the Southern State of Golf Podcast. And it's been a while. I had an unintended little bit of a break, had a career change. I moved from being a high school athletic director to now an assistant commissioner with our South Carolina High School League, and life just got really busy all of a sudden. We moved in our youngest daughter into the University of South Carolina, and so it was like ending one job, starting another job, going on vacation in the middle of that, then sending the youngest off to college, and of course our oldest actually went off to college, but she's not been as busy. But I'm excited to just get back in talking golf. And today I'm excited to be joined by Robby from the Whole Story Podcast. Robby, how are you doing today, man?
I am well. Yes, you have had a busy last month or so, and it's good to get back together just to talk and share some golf stories and hear what's going on with you. And yeah, excited for both your girls. Now you got the empty house now.
Yeah, empty house. Except still got two little dogs here that they might make an appearance on the podcast before we're all said and done. You might hear them. Hopefully, we'll see if they can keep it together. But yeah, man, Robby, you're a celebrity, man. You've been traveling, hosting big time guests on the Whole Story Podcast, and interviewing big time people. Tell us, what do you got going on at the Whole Story Podcast right now?
Oh man, as far as guests. Yeah, we were honored to interview Jim Furyk and Billy Draddy to talk about the upcoming President's Cup and just the work that B. Draddy and Zero Restriction, the folks at Summit Golf Brands, they are the official apparel providers for both the U.S. and international team. Jim Furyk is a vice captain for this team. He was the last President Cup captain, but he's also now the Ryder Cup captain for next year at Adair Manor. So it was really cool to have an opportunity to chat with him. All our guests are great, just whether they've won majors or FedEx Cups or what. But we've had some great guests. We got some pretty good ones coming up. I won't spill the beans here, but we've got some pretty cool ones coming up as well. But yeah, I've been able to do a little travel. My son and he was doing an internship with Young Life in Missouri, and I just flew out to drive back with him. But before we really hit the road, we stopped and played at Big Cedar Lodge for a couple of days and got to check out that cool place. So highly recommend. And I guess since Missouri is in the Southeastern Conference, they can be qualified, I guess, as a southern state that you can talk about and share the experience there.
Absolutely, we'll certainly include it. That's one of those resorts that I can't say I ever really wanted to go to Missouri, but I certainly want to go to Missouri for this. So I look forward. I know you'll be putting some content out on your trip. And let me ask this before we move on: was there any wagers placed during this father-son thing, or was this all strictly just fun?
No wagers. I mean, granted, he been working at Young Life all summer, and so I think he might have went and hit. He played the par 3 there once. They have a couple par 3s at Big Cedar, so he went with another friend and played it once, but he hasn't really played much. And thankfully, I've been able to play a little bit more than that, and so I didn't want to make him bet anything. I don't really bet on the golf course, so I can't even remember what we shot, either one of us, but we had some laughs and we had a good time. It was great to be with him after being apart for a couple of months.
Well, I know that had been an awesome experience, and we look forward to seeing more, hear more about it. But today's episode, we're going to talk about North Carolina golf in general. I've done some different previews talking about different courses. The state of North Carolina, man, it is so good. The golf in North Carolina is so good. I mean, I'm a South Carolina guy. I love South Carolina through and through. I'm going to pull for our state, even against logic. But if you had to put South Carolina golf versus North Carolina golf, I was like, man, North Carolina golf's pretty doggone good. How do you feel about North Carolina golf?
Yeah, they have a lot. And, since you asked me to jump on with you, I kind of went down the rabbit trail of where have I played and where do I want to play. And you're right, there's a number of courses on both lists. I've been fortunate to play a handful of great courses, but my bucket list for North Carolina far exceeds what I have already played. it's hard to compare it to South Carolina because right now I think South Carolina is just in such a boom of new courses that maybe we're just trying to play catch up. Although there are a lot of historic courses, especially like in the Low Country for South Carolina, that would probably rival some of the historic, well-known clubs, I would say, of North Carolina.
No, absolutely. The one thing I like about North Carolina golf, and we'll talk about this as we go on, when I was making my list of the top 10 that I want to play, I had half of them are public courses and half of them are private courses. I think sometimes states, when I've done these lists, it's been more heavy private than public, but this is one where, man, there's some outstanding public options for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. There are a number of great public private. There's some kind of hole in the walls that some people know about that others might not. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what you might have on your list.
Well, as I was going through and preparing for this, I was looking at it, made a list, and then I'd go through and see another course. I was like, man, I didn't know about that. That looks great. And then
Yeah.
it's funny how that happens sometimes. Well, let's start a little bit with maybe some of the courses that we've all already played. When you think of some of your, I'm going to go through 5 of my favorite courses I've played, and I'm going to start with an honorable mention on this list of one that I've played. So I guess it's 6, but we're going to honorable mention. I'm going to throw the Cradle in there, the par
Okay.
3 course there at Pinehurst, and when we played it this past summer, it was just such a cool thing. And I know one of the things we talked about with our group, and we used a phrase that I kind of hate this phrase, but it's true. It's such a vibe. I mean, it was such a vibe just to go out there and play a par 3 course with the Cradle crossing there, kind of in the middle. I even played one of the holes barefooted, and I don't do anything barefooted, but I know Jonathan, I think, probably loves to do that type stuff, but that's not me. But I loved it, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I got to do the Cradle. We took a BestBall trip there, I guess, last summer, and yes, Jonathan was barefoot on the Cradle, as were a number of the people on our trip. But yeah, really, really cool course. And I will throw out, I did recently go play the Matchbox. I don't know if you're going to put that on your bucket list, but the Matchbox there at Tobacco Road is really cool. I wouldn't do that one barefooted because you are walking through the woods a lot more than you would be at the Cradle, but it's a really cool little short par 3 course as well.
Yeah, you're teeing that up. That is going to be on the list down the road to talk about. Well, give me a course, one of your courses that you played that you loved. If you've got a particular order, I'm gonna go 5 to 1. What about you?
It's hard to pick a top 5. So I don't know where I'll start. Oh man, let's go number 5. I'll say, man, just to separate a little bit, give me Tot Hill Farms. I got to play that one recently. So I'll throw that one on number 5. Up in Sanford, North Carolina. A good friend does a lot of the marketing stuff for them, Robby Wooten, and Tot Hill's just it's great. Mike Strant's design. It's some call it gimmicky or quirky. I love it because it makes you hit good shots. It makes you think a little bit. It allows you to be creative, and so yeah, it's a good course. If you haven't played it, I would highly recommend it.
Oh no, that's certainly one I want to play. And for me, I am going to have a heavy Pinehurst flavor here, but number 5 for me is Pinehurst number 4. That was the course that we played on our last day at Pinehurst, and I absolutely loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, I even played pretty well. It was one of my best rounds I've ever had, and it was just a lot of fun. I mean, of course, I think any course that we played at Pinehurst was going to be really good. So what do you got at number 4 on your list? Or if you got a number 4?
Yeah, number 4, I will put. I'll go Tobacco Road. I'll stick with the Mike Strantz thing. I'll do Tobacco Road there. It's another fun course. Requires some shots. I've only played Tot Hill now twice. I've only played Tobacco Road once, but absolutely loved it. Ready to go back. I did mention that I got to play the Matchbox there at Tobacco Road. Did not play the big course this time, but it's one that I would highly recommend to anybody. And it's public, right? So you can go book your tee time, find one and book your tee time, go play it, just and enjoy the creativity that Mike Strands. He's only got what 7 or 8 courses that he ever did before he passed too soon, and it's I don't know, something you just really appreciate his style whenever you get to play one of his courses. So I love Tobacco Road.
I do as well. And I actually had Tobacco Road at number three.
Okay.
It was, I love it. I played it probably two years ago in December. That was one where I had the most unique foursome. I had a lady and a guy couple that brought their two Cavalier King Charles
Oh
dogs
yeah.
in the car. There was another guy with his wife who had like their 2 or 3 month old or 6 month old baby. Man, I had a blast. I mean, it was so different. I absolutely love it. Give me a Mike Strantz course any day of the week. I had a tremendous time. I love it. Now, the shocker of this is what I actually probably got at number four. Number four is Pinehurst number two.
Whoa. All right.
Yes, and I'm not. This is not me trying to say what's the best course. I'm not trying to be a golf guy that this design's better than that. But and that doesn't. That's going to sound like wow. If you were to ask me tomorrow if I could go play with the fellas, Tobacco Road, Pinehurst number two, I actually would rather go play Tobacco Road than Pinehurst number two. And that's not a knock on number two. It's more of a tribute to what I think Tobacco Road is a little bit. I enjoyed it. Now, if we were to look at things in hindsight, I played so bad when we played number two that maybe that influenced the decision. I'm sure it did. If I played well, I mean, I still remember on tobacco or number two. I want to say it was hole 15. It was a par three, and I was the only one of our group to put it on the green. And then I proceeded to four putt, not three, four. No, Robert, that wasn't so funny. I remember telling myself one of my goals. I just wanted a putt for a deuce coin. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't want much. I just wanted a
You
putt. Well, I got the
you
putt.
you got your putt.
I got the putt, and then three more after that. It was awful. And but anyway, no, I really enjoyed number two, but in part of me, there's the competitive part of me because I did play much better after that at Pinehurst. I want to kind of go back, but yeah, I put number four or number two at number four, and then Tobacco Road at number three. So I know it's a little bit of a surprise, but what do you got at number three?
Number three, I'll put Pinehurst number 10 on there.
Okay.
I love it. Like I wish I could have like a 1A through E. Like I love it that much. I think number 10 is awesome. I'm really excited about number 11 coming up. But yeah, number 10, I'll only got to play it once, and it's big and bold, and I think it's, I don't know, one of the great courses, great new courses in the Southeast in the country in the last, I don't know, number of years. So I really, really like number 10.
Well, that's my number two course. Was
Okay.
number. I mean, I loved everything about it. I think our entire group, we had, I believe it was seven of us in our group. We all agreed we played number two, 10, 4, and 7. I think we all pretty much agreed if we could only play one more course again, we would play number 10 over number two. Because we just had that good of a time. It kind of gave me a little bit of Tree Farm, old Barnwell vibes, where you just kind of laid back. I'm wearing the hat now with the logo. I'm a huge fan of the logo with number 10.
Yeah.
The food there was really good. We had a great dinner or lunch there. We had a great breakfast. The breakfast buffet there was really good. Like the Southwest, I had some type of Southwest waffle, honeys. I don't know, whatever it was. It was really, really good. But number 10, you're right. I could do that all day long. We all want to go back when I know they're building some lodges or rooms or some cabins right there. I
Yeah.
think that would be really good, really cool. Now, is number 10 is or number 11 coming? Is it going to be a part of that area as well? Is that what they're
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, it's going to be a part of the what they call the sand mines area, I believe, and it's yeah, kind of right in that area. So you'll be able to go to that one clubhouse, I believe, and get to both courses. And now the clubhouse was not built; it was like a week or two away from opening when we were there last summer.
Mhm.
And so I would love to go back just to check that out. They were in temporary locations. Did get a towel and a hat, but yeah, it was. Um, yeah, I'm excited about number 11. Pictures I've seen, our friend Matt Gibson that does all the social content and videos and stuff. Like he's been showing it off really nice.
Oh no, I absolutely love it. All right, well, what's number two on your list?
Number two, I've gotten to play it a few weeks ago. Was Pine Needles. Um, yeah, it's one of those courses in the Pines kind of grouping there in the Southern Pines area. You've got Mid Pines, Southern Pines, and Pine Needles. I have played Mid Pines. If I had enough room on my list, that would have been on there. I have not played Southern Pines, but Pine Needles is my number two. I thought it was a great old school course. We stayed in the Pine Needles Lodge, so we got to overlook everything. But the course itself it fits that Pinehurst Southern Pines area where you got tall pine trees everywhere, a lot of sand around the
Mhm.
fairways and up near the greens and stuff like that. But just the design of it is really special. And just to give a quick shout out to another course that's somewhat associated with them called Whispering Pines that will be coming. They're working on it now, and it will be reopening for play. I think late September, October timeframe. It won't be in that same cluster of those three courses, but a lot of the same people that are involved with those are involved with Whispering Pines. But it's going to be it's always been a public course, so it's been the one that more locals and people can go play, and it's going to remain that way. So we talked about earlier the public-private thing.
Mhm.
So shout out to the folks at Whispering Pines. I'm excited to go check that out.
That sounds awesome. And so I've got to
Yep.
take it. Number one for you's got to be number two then.
Yeah, it was hard not to pick number two, and I've only gotten to play it twice. I did while you were talking, I did look and find my deuce coin.
Yeah, of course you did.
Um, yeah, the old 2 on 2 there, if you can see it. That
So
got that on number 9, long par three. I don't know if I played well either time. I think it's more the intimidation factor. Like you're there and you're like, all right, I got to play well, and you're stressed out, and um, just I didn't play that great, and but I loved it. Like it's so classic. It's so historic. Donald Ross did an incredible job. It seems so simple, yet it will, punch you in the face while you're playing it. So the fact that I actually hit the green on 9 and I probably had a 7, 8 foot putt and my hands were shaking so much because, like you, I'm like, I just wanted to putt at it. And somehow the ball found the bottom of the cup. And I was the only one in our big group that was there that got one. So walking into the bar, I mean, it's funny. They must have people walk in there and either have 2 on 2, or just make it up. The bartender kind of turned around and grabbed a coin out of the cup and said, "Here you go." So I'm not encouraging people to lie to go do it, but if you actually get a 2 on number 2, do it for sure.
oh, absolutely. That's really cool. Like I said, I just wanted a putt. Like I said, I got four of them, but that is awesome. I do want to give it another shot. Part of me wants to. I just know I could do a little bit better on it, but there is an intimidation
We
factor.
all we always think that, right? Like we get there and I'm like, all right, today's the day, and
Yeah,
it
I mean,
just
I've had my days where I didn't necessarily think today was the day. I didn't think that when I stepped on number two that day. Then maybe that was part of the problem. It wasn't like, nah, today ain't the day. I just
yeah.
hoped that today was going to have a couple of holes that were pretty good. Well, my number one for me, I got an opportunity to play last November, was the Old Town Club in
Nice.
Winston-Salem. We had a group of four of us that went there, and we were it was just a tremendous experience. It was an old school vibe club that just their service. Like I was a little nervous when you go to a private club that's well ranked, well thought of. Like I don't want to be out of place. I don't want to feel out of place. I don't want to mess up anything. But everybody there was so nice and welcoming. We didn't even have a member in our group. We were reciprocal play of another member that was there, and it just They were so kind to us, let us use their locker room. And it was an old school locker room. I think dudes were in the back. They might have been smoking, playing cards. Just walked up. There's an Arnold Palmer locker and all these, famous people lockers, and you just felt like you were in a really prestigious place. It's a Perry Maxwell design that I don't think he moved a whole lot of earth when he made it. And the fact that it is kind of in the middle of downtown Winston-Salem, even though you can't really, you've got to look certain areas to even see that you're near a city. It felt like an old school golf club with a lot of, upscale amenities. And I thought the logo was cool. They were really hospitable. And, part of that too was I didn't play well that day either. That was another thing. It was not, I don't even know if I ended up with a score. I'm pretty sure it did not go into any of my official scoring that day, but it was it was an awesome course. And that's one of those that anybody gets an opportunity to play, you just go say yes. You just say, yep, let's go do it. So that was very blessed to play that, and part of that was we had a good group of people that we played. And we always talk about in this podcast and yours and golf as people. And, I think that what made it a great experience. So I'm excited about that. Well,
I love it.
I actually think we're trying to shake things a little bit, try to go back in November where we want to stir that one back up again. Hoping we'll get back out there. Well, let's talk about some of the courses we want to play in North Carolina. I mean, sometimes when I do these with these different states, I'm kind of reaching on some of them where I don't want to say I'm not guessing, but I left so many really, really good ones off this list that we just couldn't talk about. And I say these are courses that I want to play. And there's not one of them trying to tell people they're the best or anything like that because, I don't think either one of us mentioned I haven't even played much mountain golf up there yet. No. I've got a couple of courses on this list, but I'm going to start with a little bit of an honorable mention for me, of course, that I want to play. I want to play, and you talked about the Matchbox. I so want to play that. I mean, anything with Mike Strantz, sign me up. I certainly want to play it. When you're playing it, now I want to ask you, when you're playing the Matchbox, did it feel like it was a Mike Strantz type of course, or was it kind of its own little thing?
Yeah, I mean, the crew that designed it worked with Mike, and so a lot of influence there. So it does feel like that, but being a short course where every hole is somewhere in that 40 to 90-yard range, like there's only so much you can do, right? Like you can't have too many blind shots and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It is a course that it's all synthetic tee boxes and greens. And after the first hole or two, you don't even think about it because you kind of get used to the little bit of a first stiff bounce, firm bounce, but it's playable, and they've designed it very well to where slopes and things like that you can play off of. Now, if you miss, you're going to be in the pine straw, and you might be punching. Even some of the tee shots, though, like they have them between trees where it might be like a 10-foot gap, and so you have to kind of thread the needle. But I think that's just what's so cool about it is that they took property that they had around Tobacco Road and said, hey, let's do something fun. Let's do something unique. And I think they nailed it. I think it's a great thing. And, it's funny. I've seen some people comment because, a few weeks back when they had a lot of the media out. And so many people were out there posting and talking about, go at a great experience. But there are a lot of people that commented that like, oh, $75 for a 12-hole par 3 on fake grass. Like, no way, I'm not doing that. I can play this and this and this. And it's like, y'all are missing the point. Like, it's supposed to be one of those, grab your friends, go out, have a good time, get your kids out there, go play. Like, it is a fun course, a great addition to Tobacco Road.
And I love golf when can be a little bit different and complementary to other golf. I'm a huge fan of short courses, par 3s. I love it. That's one of those I can't wait to play. I also want to encourage people to go to bestball.com and you scroll down to golf stories. There is a great article on there. No itinerary required. 4 truths from an impromptu trip. I love that article. It was written by Brandon Smith, guest contributor. I think it was a fantastic read.
No, Brandon. Yeah, Brandon went with me. So that's where we. And it's funny. You read the article and you can kind of know who Brandon is. Like I said, hey, got an opportunity to go do the Matchbox. Do you want to go with me? And he said yes. And then a little bit later, he's like, do you want to go up a day early and play pine needles? I'm like, sure. And so, tacked on one. So it was kind of I'll let you read the article, but yes, Brandon, one of the best people in the world. And it's always a joy to get to travel with him or go play golf with him wherever, just because he's one of the best, but he did an incredible job. Kind of an unsolicited thing, that he wrote it and said, "Hey, you can do it this what you want," but it was perfect. So we wanted to share it through the
All
Best
right.
Ball channels.
It was great. It's a great story. I encourage people to go get it. Bestball.com. Scroll down. Great article. I loved it. Made me want to go to Matchbox even more so, and just an impromptu trip. I think stuff like that is so cool. Well,
Yeah,
let's go into some of the other courses that I want to play. I'll go through a couple, then you can go through a couple. I had and I'll put these in a little bit of an order. I might switch these up. I got number 10 for me, Pinehurst number 3.
okay.
I, I for me, I'm a short course type of fan where it's not as long. Like tell is one of those you're telling me there's a chance. The shorter the yardage, the better chance that I have of maybe being good. We didn't get an opportunity to play it, but I also think the flag is a little cool, the little triangle with the 3 in the middle, just subtle difference. That is something that I want to try. And I think it's a par 68 from the
Yeah,
tips.
something like that.
Yeah,
Uh, Something like that. I have played
yeah.
that one a couple times. I love it. I think it's fun. One of our friends says it's bad because he couldn't hit his driver everywhere. I'm like, you can definitely hit your driver if you want, but I mean, he crushes his driver. And I think it's really cool. If I would suggest if anybody's going to Pinehurst on a buddy's trip and you're going to play number 2, play number 3 first. Like it's a great warm up. The greens are somewhat similar, even though it's a short course. Like there's a lot of character and slope on those things, and so it's a really cool, like you said, really cool short course. Highly recommend.
And that's what we tried to do when we went. We tried to get number 3 the day before we played number 2, but it just wasn't available. So I encourage people to check that out. I can't wait to. Number 9 on my list was Pine Needles Lodge and Golf Club. I you know, another. I think 5 of the 10 courses on my list here are Donald Ross designs. Go figure, from North Carolina. But it looks amazing. I think all those different properties there. I mean, I think it was laid out in the early 1920s, 1927. It looks like a really cool place.
Yeah, well, you heard me talking about it earlier. It ranks high on my list. I would highly recommend getting up there and doing it for sure.
What's a couple that you want to play?
I mean, there's a lot more than I have played. You mentioned Old Town Club. That one's high up on my list. I've wanted to get there for a while, just haven't done it. And so that one's high up on my list. Probably my number 1 on the list would be Wade Hampton. That one just looks incredible. I'm sure it's probably on yours as well. Like you, I haven't played a ton of mountain golf, and so a lot of these courses are kind of in that mountainous area. So those are a couple that are probably at the top of the list of I really want to go try to play there.
Oh, absolutely. Those are certainly very high up there. And of course, really, for me, I should have said, when I was doing these, number 8 is Southern Pines, number 7 is Mid Pines. So when you put all those right together, you add Pine Needles, Southern Pines, Mid Pines,
You can knock all those off in one weekend.
one week. I mean, I'm trying to think, is there another place in America where you can go have such a great time at the Pinehurst Resort and then less than 30 miles away do a whole nother trip with such high level courses?
It's less than that. It's like 2 minutes away.
You,
Like
you're right.
they are that close. I mean, 30 minutes away, then you're talking Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
An hour away, you're talking Tot Hill Farms. Like that area is loaded, not just loaded with good golf courses. They are loaded with great golf courses. So yes, that's a special area.
Do you think it's fair to say Pine Needles, Southern Pines, and Mid Pines, if they were anywhere else, they would probably be better thought of or more thought of than because they're in the shadow of say Pinehurst number 2, or is that just?
I think that's a fair question. Probably. I think people that know golf know how good they are. Yeah. But when you're competing against what what they would describe the American home of golf, like it's tough, right? That's your neighbor. But I think they embrace it. I think there's plenty of people that go to play just those courses, and I think I think they can stand on their own for sure.
Yeah, no, they look amazing. It's one of those I can't wait to get out there and try it sometime. Also high up on my list is Roaring Gap Club. It looks like it's an amazing, kind of a mountainous area. It's kind of got that, old charm feel to it. It's another Donald Ross design, you know, but, probably a vastly different feel than what you get in the Pinehurst Southern Pines area. That's certainly one that I want to try. You've already mentioned it's high, this is super high on my list. This is probably higher on my list than probably the rankings deserve or give it, is Todd Hill Farms, as you talked about earlier. I just like, I put that as like a number 4 on my list of North Carolina ones that I want to play, because anything with Mike Strantz, I want to play it. And it's interesting, like when I was looking at different rankings that people put out, that one is probably vastly different on so many different ones. Some people have it kind of high, and some people, there was one place that had it like number 70 in North Carolina. And I was like, come on. I love the Mike Strantz.
Maybe that's an old list.
Maybe it is. Like I saw it, I kept looking. I was like, maybe they just they got, when they teed off, they got stuck behind a rock or something.
It'll happen.
I know that's Tom Doak had a quote on there in one of his books. He said, "Some people call it Tobacco Road with rocks, but rocks don't go nearly as well with golf as sand." And,
yeah.
Of course, I think that is such an awesome thing. Another one I want to play at, and this is a newer course, and I've heard a lot about it. I haven't heard a lot of people play it, the Dormy Club, by Core and Crenshaw. Do you know much about that course?
I do. And if if the list was best experience, right, that would be the top of my list, because I did get to play it back in May, I believe. I got to go for like a 2-3 day trip to go to the Dormy Club. They absolutely nail hospitality, right? The golf is amazing, right? I don't want to sell that short, but they nail everything hospitality. Like, you show up, they grab your clubs, you don't touch them the whole time. You're there. You have a golf cart to drive to your little cottage, that you have your own room. Facilities in the cottages are great. The meals that they provide are unreal, John. Like, I can't even, like, it makes me hungry while I sit here thinking about them, but it also reminds me that I probably gained like 10 pounds while I was there, because it's, they're feeding a host of people, whoever's there, and it's kind of a captive thing. And we talked to Howie Hutchinson about the Dormy Network Foundation. They kind of clued us into the model of the Dormy properties that they have, and it's like 60 beds on site. And so you've got a captive audience of a small group of people. It's not like, a Pinehurst or Southern Pines where they're running numbers and numbers of people through. It's a smaller group of people, and you are loved on and served on so well by the golf staff, by the food staff, by the caddies, by everybody there, the lodging, and it's, if you said, hey, rank the golf experience in North Carolina, Dormy Club's number 1 for me.
See, for me, that's I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm not a golf purist. So to me, I know there's certain people, when you talk about their experience on a golf course, for them, it is all about the grass, the bunkers, all that. For me, the experience is such a big thing. And it just looks like a really cool thing, cool little logo too. And I'm just also a big fan of anything that, Core and Crenshaw do. Like, it's one of those that you can just say, this is a Core and Crenshaw course. Okay, I want to play it. Yeah. This is kind of the way I feel about it. And
again, the golf course is really, really good. Like, I love it.
Now you're kind of making me think that I probably should have put that higher on my list. Number 2 and it's one that I think gets bashed a little bit in North Carolina or around golf is the Quail Hollow Club.
Hmm.
You know, but for me, I want to play it because of the history of, being a Truist Championship place. It's hosted a couple of PGA championships, hosted the President's Cup back in 2022. It's just one that you always see on TV. I think some people, I may be being critical, call it sterile for certain events, but I think it would be awesome to play it.
Yeah, no, it's on my list of would love to play it someday. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, I don't know if it'd be in a top 10 probably for sure
Mhm.
of wanting to play, but there's so many good ones that I have yet to play that it'd be on there, but it wouldn't be near the top.
And more, I think I might just do an audible, and we'll at least put the Dormy Club above it. What you just said just sold me enough to where I need to rank that. Just go ahead and switch mid podcast up there.
I love
What
it.
are some?
We'll make the switch for you.
Yeah, make that switch there. Do that fancy editing you do. Now tell me what are some other courses in North Carolina you want to play? Because I know there's so many good ones out there. I'd love to hear what else you got.
Yeah, I mean, some that just, doing my research and being like, oh, I've heard so many great things about it. Diamond Creek, Forest Creek,
Yes.
Old Chatham,
Yes.
Eagle Point over on the coast in Wilmington. Like they hosted the Wells Fargo or whatever one year when they had the PGA, I think at Quail Hollow. So Eagle Point, Mountaintop. I have not played number 4 at Pinehurst, so I would love to do that one. Sedgefield. I mean, there's so many that I want to play. So it's hard. Waynesville Inn. Like, have you ever played that one?
No, but I saw that on the list. Yeah, I was like, this is really good. I mean, this
Yeah. I mean,
looks.
I've gone fly fishing in Waynesville, but I would much rather at this point want to go play golf instead.
Yeah, I mean, I went up cut through the mountains sometime not terribly long ago, and then I just saw this was a golf course. I had no idea what it was on the side. I was like, that looks really cool. But number one for me on my list, I think you had it number one in yours. Is the Wade Hampton Golf Club in Cashiers,
Yeah.
North Carolina. That's one of those where I try to keep my ears open. Like, if anybody wants to throw an invite out there, yes, sir, I will be there. Don't you
Yeah.
got to work out?
John and Robby will be happy to come join you.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be an honor. I mean, it looks really, really cool. I mean, just when you see rankings, to me in North Carolina, to me there's 3 courses that are kind of consistently at the top. Number 2, the Wade Hampton Club and Old Town Club. It seems like
Yeah.
sometimes they'll interchange those 3 a little bit. So yeah, sign us up. Mountain golf. I don't know if I've ever really played a true mountain course. I don't think I have.
Yeah.
And I just think that would be, especially this heat that we're having here in the South and South Carolina, 100-degree weather. I think it'd be fantastic to go play somewhere with some 60s or 50s one day.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be 60 or 50, but at least it might be in the 80s, which would be something different.
Yeah, well, I think there's such a great list of, like I said, I know there's, hey, I'd love to hear from you as a guest. Please let us know, some other courses that we may be missing that are some high-level courses. Please shoot me an email, southernstateofgolf@gmail.com. Hit me up on Instagram @ssofgolf. I'd certainly love to have your comments. And, I'm always looking for great courses. And even
I got one for you though.
Okay,
I don't know if you've played it. So we used to do a trip with a bunch of guys from church, and we'd go up just north of Myrtle Beach, just get into North Carolina. We'd stay in the Calabash area, and one of our favorite courses every year was River's Edge. Have you heard of that one?
I have heard of that one.
In Charlotte, North Carolina. It is amazing. Like, it's, public golf course. It, probably doesn't rank anywhere on these, compared to these other ones, but I love the design, the layout, and like they've got some holes that, cutting around the water, like the ocean or the marsh or whatever, that are really cool. So if you ever get a chance and you want to go play something fun, go to River's Edge in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pencil that one in my Myrtle Beach trip next year.
Oh, yeah.
River's Edge, because I actually was looking at that one this year, but I couldn't get a tee time I wanted. I ended up going playing the Thistle up in North Carolina instead, which was still a really, really good course. But River's Edge is one of those in that area. I have not had an opportunity to play. Well, tell us right before we let you go today, what's got anything that you can share coming up with Best Ball, or any of the other good podcasts. One of the podcasts I just listened to that's a few weeks old was Bob Gillespie.
Oh yeah.
I love listening to that, hear him talk. Man, you talking about South Carolina golf, he certainly has it.
Yeah, so we're doing a trip with the Best Ball Golf Club in November. We're taking a small group of folks to the Aiken area. We're going to do Old Barnwell and maybe a few other spots around there. So that'll be fun. Podcast lineup's loaded. I was telling somebody today that we're recording now for October, and so that's rock and roll. We will hit episode 200 in early September for the whole story, and so that's pretty fun. It's hard to believe that we are at that point already. But I've got some trips coming up that will be fun. Going to see Wild Spring Dunes out in Texas, a new Sanborn project. Same folks that did the rodeo dunes out in Texas. Michael Kaiser Jr. Of the Dream Golf fame. It's one of his properties, so doing that, and just got some other fun stuff. Great stories to tell, but it's all about the people you get to do it with, and stuff like this, getting to hang out with you talking golf. That's what makes it fun for us.
Absolutely, and that's what makes it fun for me. It's always great to be able to talk with you, Robby, and everybody else we can have on the podcast. I'd encourage people to go to bestball.com, check out all the great lineup of podcasts and different guests that people offer. Man, there's some really high-level guests, great stories, good things to tell. Well,
one other thing it made me think of. So one thing we are going to do new on, and I'm going to need to get you on here at some point, on the whole story is Jonathan and I, we just started doing, and this was inspired by my son Archie, as we were making the long road trip back from Big Cedar. He said, hey, let's do some snake drafts. Let's pick up random topics and do snake drafts on stuff. And so Jonathan and I started, and we're going to bring on different guests like yourself we'll have on, and we'll pick a topic in the world of golf, and we'll do snake drafts, and we'll talk about it. We'll laugh, we'll cut up. And so we're going to do, those are going to be kind of a mini series spun off of the whole story. So wherever you find the whole story, you can find this one as well. First one drops tomorrow, and you'd be surprised to know that our first snake draft revolved around snacks on the golf course.
Oh, I love it. You got to love those great teas set up there, and there's a lot of great stuff right there. And anything with food, to me, that's right at the top of the list of me enjoying golf as well. I can certainly detract quality points from a golf course with bad food or no food. So, well, hey, Robby, thank you so much for joining us again, and thank you all for listening to another episode of the Southern State of Golf podcast.